The Iruma-kun manga has just confirmed the results of the Scala exam, and if Iruma actually did rank up. Not just that, but we also learned that Ameri is planning to confess to Iruma, and it's coming a lot sooner than we thought. But before we go into all of that, we have to rewind back to chapter 372. After a heartfelt chat with Opera, we see Iruma get a call from Mephisto about his rank after the Scala exam, where it's revealed that his new rank is 5.5? What? What the f- Okay, yeah, this may seem like complete bullshit, but there is a good reason for this. In chapter 373, we see Mephisto having a meeting with Henry regarding the situation with Iruma. Since Mephisto was the overseer of the exam, he's also supposed to have the permission to decide whether or not Iruma passes, which obviously he was planning to do. And this isn't just because he's Iruma's kingmaker now or whatever. Iruma definitely did pass by creating a new king for them, but things got very complicated with the many years farm, them learning magic, and then the border control interfering and Iruma straight up fighting Ameri. So Henry was forced to tell Mephisto to hold off on the promotion, meaning that he also agrees that Iruma should rank up, but we can assume that the whole battle against Narnia has caused some complications. We know that Narnia hates Iruma, so he'll do anything in his power to delay this rank up. I mean, we see in chapter 369 that he's holding the Human Deportation Act. I didn't do a video on this chapter simply because I didn't have the time, but this is huge, because this definitely means that he's willing to, well, deport Iruma if necessary. Henry does apologise to Mephisto for all the trouble, but he does bring up an interesting point. Iruma and Mephisto's activities should have focused on creating a settlement for the many years and preserving the clan, and this would also cause them to keep being able to be used by higher ranked demons as usual. But the issue is that Iruma has made them far too independent. So since the higher ranked demons are the ones who run the Scala exam, yeah, they aren't too happy, and if Iruma is rewarded for this behaviour, it could put him in a lot of danger and split two sides of the demon world apart. Henry does actually care for Iruma a lot. Despite him being the harem king, he knows that Iruma is the one for his daughter Ameri. This is good news for Henry, because if he made this decision simply because he didn't like Iruma or had something against him, who knows what would have happened, since Mephisto is incredibly dedicated to Iruma now. We already saw him interfere in the Scala exam with no hesitation, and if you need more proof, we see this panel from Mephisto. He first tells Henry that the demon world is a lot softer now. If they got into this back in the day, thousands of demons would die. And I don't blame Henry for himself a little. Like, look at this guy.
Oh, hell no.
We do need to remember that Mephisto is one of the oldest demons alive. He's seen the darkest times of the demon world. So you know when he says this, he's being serious. The only reason he agrees to Henry's terms are because he wants to learn more about the young generation, primarily being Iruma, of course. So then this is all explained to Iruma and the other misfits, finding out that he wouldn't rank up. Kinda. Mephisto explains everything I just went into, whilst leaving out some information to not worry them. But he does say that Iruma did pass his own criteria for him passing, as he not only made a king for the many years in Nova, but also that the farm that he created has contributed a ton to creating a sense of belonging for the many years. I mean, before Iruma, the Elder just believed that they were nothing but servants to higher ranked demons, so he's personally giving him rank 5.5. This system does not exist in Scala though, meaning that Mephisto just handmade this badge himself. This may seem like nothing, but this makes it very clear that a 13 crown has recognised Iruma of being worthy of rank Vav, telling Iruma to take care of it, as it's a sign of his recognition too. This is actually quite similar to when Iruma and the other misfits were given earrings and other stuff to prove who their masters are, meaning that Iruma now carries proof that he's supported by not just one 13 crown, but two. Well, it's actually 3 if you include Sullivan. People may be confused, thinking, well, Iruma just ranked up by 0.5, that's nothing, what a waste of time. But no, this is actually better for Iruma. He not only passed the exam in Mephisto's eyes, and based on what he said, we're just waiting for him to be confirmed rank Vav, he's also gotten another 13 crown in his back pocket, and Mephisto is one of the strongest demons ever. This was like 2 to 3 steps forward and 1 minor step back, so who cares? This rank up, if you even want to call it that, is way more than if he was simply just given Vav. In fact, we find out later that another candidate for Demon King, Vasbury, called up Iruma telling him that he completely failed his Scala exam. It wasn't delayed, he just didn't pass, but Iruma went so above and beyond and changed the demon world so much that they now have to pontificate on what to do with him. So after this, Mephisto decides to open up a hole in space and bring his home closer to Iruma's. Now before we go fully into why he even did this, it's important to mention that this lines up with my theory about Mephisto's magic I mentioned in my other video. I said that his whole ability of opening up holes and things and somehow teleporting, and now this method of bringing his home from out of nowhere, is also showing that Mephisto does indeed possess spatial magic, with his own world of sorts, like Obito and Naruto. Anyway, his house looks like this. Bro, this looks like the mausoleums in Elden Ring. Like, what the f is this? By the way, speaking of Elden Ring, it's getting an anime, and I love the manga and, of course, the game. I was completely addicted for a while. So if you guys want to see a video on that, let me know, because I am very tempted to do that. Moving on, Mephisto has officially moved in next door, and we all know that this isn't for the reasoning he said, to inform Iruma of his rank up when it happens, but it's definitely as insurance to protect Iruma against threats and be closer to his king if needed. Obviously I could be wrong here, so let me know in the comments, but I genuinely think this is the case. Following this, Iruma tells Ameri everything that happened, also asking her about how her exam is going. Remember that she's also in the process of ranking herself up to Zion, but instead of answering, she just says how far Iruma's came. I mean, he went from having no goals and having to be inspired to steadily reaching her, flipping everything on its head. Iruma has been inspired by Ameri the entire story. She's a big driving force behind his desire to rank up, but now, Ameri admits that Iruma is the one inspiring her now. They're both demons striving for the heights of the demon world, so now she can truthfully say, I'll be waiting for you to stand beside me as my equal, Iruma. So to Ameri, it's not just, okay, maybe he'll catch up, he pretty much has now, and now it's just a matter of time until he goes to rank 5, which is her current rank. But to be fair, I do still believe I was correct about her ranking up before he reaches Vav. But still, we get a huge moment for these two, as Ameri says what we've all been expecting. If Iruma does become her equal, that's when she'll let him know of her true feelings. Let's go! That's right, the ship is sailing. It's not long until we actually see these two together now, but I personally think that it's going to be Iruma who confesses. Why? Well, because it just makes sense for his growth. We discussed this in my Discord already, which you guys can join to talk about Iruma and other manga. Not just that, but if you do want to support me so I can upload more consistently, you can become a member on your YouTube, which actually gives you special roles in the Discord server, where you can see me script, edit, and get sneak peeks of my next videos. Anyway, as I said in my Iruma x Ameri video, Iruma doesn't even know what romantic love is. Him coming to terms with his own feelings will show his growth as a character. I mean, Ameri literally says that she's going to rank up to keep running from Iruma because she isn't ready yet, so yeah. The chances are that Iruma is going to end up confessing to Ameri before his second year ends. I mean, Iruma does say that he's going to keep moving further and further forward, making these two rivals of love, and I'm all for that. I mean, I love Kaguya-sama Love as well. Anyway, this means that it isn't long at all before we see them together, although chances are that they won't be able to fully develop their relationship because I still believe that Iruma will have to leave Babylos for a while because of Baal's plans, especially after he ranks up to rank Vav. So this was a big chapter for Iruma, and if you guys want to see another video on Iruma, make sure to check out this video on screen where I go over all of his rank ups until the Scala exam. Oh yeah, by the way guys, if you didn't realise, I am quite sick in this video, so yeah, if you noticed that, I apologise, can't really help it. Bugs going around in England right now, but yeah,